witnesses the sins that we think are secret. That's what this thing is all about. In order to build the nation of Israel back, guess what? Believe it or not, it starts with strong marriages.
All right, on the Shalom family, Most High in Christ, bless. All right, I'm Officer David, IUIC Tallahassee, and who we got?
And I am Officer Obadiah.
All right, on the welcome to the Caribbean connection.
Right.
On where we're gonna go through the different tribes located in the Caribbean islands, and then bring out on the history and correlate that with the Bible. All right, I'm from the tribe of Benjamin.
And I'm from the tribe of Levi.
Sewe. De Napole.
And I say, why grandma?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't understand none of that.
That mean you are in denial of your culture.
No. All right, family. I grew up with Judah. I'm not gonna lie. I grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up in the hoods.
So in other words,
I grew up in the hoods of Florida.
So in other words, you fake.
No, don't do that, bro. That hurt, bro. That hurt my heart right there.
It's okay.
Ain't no fake
I'm just
on the
saying.
Benji, man. You see my bald spot, bro. I'm 100% Benji.
You're right
there,
on
my
that one.
bloodline.
You're right on that one.
All right, and so we're gonna go through the on histories of on the Benji and on Levi today. All right, we're gonna start with Benjamin. All right, I pray that you take notes. All right, and get your Bible, apocryphers, and any other books that you got, and follow along. All right.
Right.
All right, and start with on the Genesis. No, so let's go to Romans 15:4. All right, it's a popular scripture on that we always bring out. Read that.
Well,
The book of Romans.
We need to go over. Go ahead.
The book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4.
Read that.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
All right, so you on the so-called blacks or Caribbeans, all right, whatsoever was written aforetime was written for our learning. All right, we got to come back to the true the history of our people. All right, and so they call you the Western Indians or Haitians or Caribbeans, but God calls you the Israelites. All right, according to the Bible. Read.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
All right, and in these final days, we're catching hell all around the world. All right, on also in the Caribbean. So we're gonna go through the scriptures to give you some comfort. All right, to try to wake you up to who God calls you, so that you can repent and to keep these laws and the faith of Christ and try to get the kingdom of heaven. All right, do you got anything?
No, go ahead. Officer.
All right, and give me Genesis on the 49:1. All right, we're going to touch on real quick on, all right, how do we know that the Caribbean islands is on the Benjamin or Levi?
Right.
All right, and so the Most High, he ain't a forgetful God. All right, he ain't finna forsake his people. He going to leave you signs to show you exactly who you are. Read
right.
that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together.
All right, Jacob. All right, Jacob, man, is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, so his the name was changed to Israel. All right, in the scriptures, read.
Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
In the what days?
In the last days.
In the last days. All right, if you're not aware, we are living in the last days.
Right.
All right, this world is about to be wrapped up. The Christ had warned us, man. All right, beware of the wars and rumors of wars and things and famines and all this stuff. It's happening today, right in front of our eyes.
That's some good clues that Christ left us right there.
Yes, he did. Yes, sir.
So take heed, Israel. Let's go.
All right, real quick jump down to verse, let's go to 27.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 27. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf.
All right, I'm going to start with the tribe of Benjamin. And feel free to jump into
even though that's the youngest tribe, you see how
Oh,
he
well,
goes.
you throwing
Even
shots
though that's the
early.
youngest, you think he would have start with the higher up,
You
start from
throwing
5
shots
down.
early.
You know?
You throwing shots early. Hold
Go
this.
ahead, little
All right.
brother. Go
See,
ahead.
I didn't want to bring it out. I want to go to Genesis 35 and 18. See, I don't know how many of y'all grew up with big brothers. On the big brothers don't hold back on the little brother. We are the youngest tribe. Yes, we are. But let's see what the Most High God said about
So you
that
gonna drop your
youngest
scripture,
tribe.
man?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop that. I'll be back.
Okay.
Hey, give me Genesis 35 and 18.
Genesis chapter 35 and verse 18. And it came to pass, as her soul was in departing, for she died, that she called his name Benoni.
So this is on the Rachel. All right, and Rachel was pregnant with Benjamin at the time. All right, she departed when she had him.
Jeez.
Because Jacob made a promise to Laban. Read your history. All right, read.
But his father called him Benjamin.
Hold on. Jacob had stepped in and was like, no, he ain't going to be called on the Ben-Ami. He's going to be called on the Benjamin. All right, and Benjamin stands for the son of the right. All right, the son of the right. All right, if you don't understand, the Benjamin was the favorite of his father, Jacob. So out of the 12 tribes, and like on the today, like a lot of times, the youngest tends to be the favorite. So Benjamin, we have a lot of pride, man. We got a lot of history that we got to learn and to come back to. All right, real quick, go to Genesis 49 again.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 27.
Read that.
Benjamin shall raven as a wolf.
The Benjamin shall what?
Shall raven as a wolf.
All right, Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. All right, what does it mean to raven? The raven means to speak out, to cry aloud. All right, to cry at oppression. All right, to cry to the world. All right, you know what's going on, and it's not okay with you. Who does that? Think about the 12 tribes of Israel. Who cries aloud? Who speaks out about the oppression going on with their people? All right, the tribe of Benjamin, the so-called the Jamaicans. All right, the Western Indies. All right, and we cry out in that reggae music. All right, if you think about reggae, they go into that destruction of Babylon. All right, that oppression of the white man. All right, and so they go into your the slavery, your history, and things like that through the various artists on the reggae. All right, I want to read it again.
Benjamin shall raven as a wolf.
As a wolf. All right, think about wolf. All right, a wolf is Latin for maroon. Who are the maroons? Where do they originate from? All right, I know in IAT, as you call it, so we got the Maroons in Haiti as well. I'm not denying that.
Okay. At least you done your research.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That's okay.
But they had originated already in the land of Benjamin, or Jamaica, as they call it. What does Jamaica mean? All right, I know a lot of our people, a lot of the tribe of Benjamin take pride in that. All right, I'm Jamaican. All right, what does that mean? All right, just the same as a so-called black man here calls himself black or African American, that's a byword. That's a byword and a curse. All right, hold that. Give me on the Deuteronomy 28:37 to show that would happen to us. You're not Jamaican. All right, and you're not a Trinidadian or Bahamian. All right, the white man gave you them terms as I'm not finna call them who they truly are. All right, I want to read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37. and thou shalt become an astonishment.
Uh-huh.
A proverb.
A what?
A proverb.
All right, a wise saying. All right, if you want to teach a black, or should I say that wrong? All right, if you want to hide anything from a black man, put it in a book.
Yep.
That means that you don't want to
like to
read. Pick up your book. Read.
And a byword.
And a byword. So they will call you everything outside of your name. So what does Jamaica mean? Jamaican. All right, a land of wood and water. That don't mean anything. You are far greater than just being a land of wood and water. All right, and stop calling yourself a byword. You are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. You are from the tribe of Benjamin. All right, the son of the right, the favorite son, the beloved son. Big brother. Go back.
Sometimes you gotta let him speak.
Yeah, bro, I'm pissed.
Let him,
y'all treat us bad.
Fit himself.
Yeah.
Maybe that make you feel good, so I'm gonna let you do so. Go ahead.
All praise to the Most High.
Let
Go
it
back.
out. Let it out.
Go back to Genesis 49. We gonna let it out on this show.
Let it out.
We tired of that, man. We the ones who actually read this book, man. Come on, man.
Genesis
Read
chapter
that.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 27.
Uh-huh.
Benjamin shall raven as a wolf.
Uh-huh.
In the morning he shall devour the prey.
All right, and so the Maroons, when you look at the Maroons, all right, and so they was the first ones to rise up when they got to this on the side of the world in the 1600s. All right, and so the Maroons stood up against the English or the British. All right, and so they was fighting the hell out of them. And the British tried to fight them on their turf, but they went into the mountains and they fought them off. All right, and so they gave them all type of hell. All right, and read that again.
Benjamin shall raven as a wolf.
Uh-huh.
In the morning he shall devour the prey.
So the morning, all right, is going into when Christ returns. All right, and when Christ returns, we will get our glory. Read.
And at night he shall divide the spoil.
All right, at night is going into when this white man is on the taken down. All right, and we got it. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and also in the historical concept, that's exactly what the Maroons used to do to the whites.
Yeah.
They'll go ahead and attack them and then do what they do, and then they take all the spoil and divide it among themselves.
Right. All right, and so the British would say, all right, it seemed like the night is fighting us.
Yeah.
All right, because the dark skin would blend in with the nighttime, and they would be giving the British all type of hell. All right, and so that shows you, all right, how great of the fighters the tribe of Benjamin was. All right, all the way back into our histories we was. All right, the tribe of warriors.
Right.
All right, the tribe of the men who stood up and was willing to fight. All right, for 84 years we gave the British hell, and then the white man, of course, came in with their treaties, and of course they broke them and tricked the tribe of Benjamin. They do all of us, man. They do all of us. All right, and go back to Genesis.
No. You should get a precept on that. Somebody probably think that we're lying.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
They might think we're lying about this. Let's get this real quick. Psalm chapter 55, start verse 20.
The book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant.
You see that? Who is that? He's talking about the wicked. Who is the wicked? The so-called white man. Okay, read.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Smoother than butter. That's when they try to pretend like they're looking for peace. Oh, why can't we just love? But read.
But war was in his heart.
You see that? But in his heart, all you wanted is war. Read.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
That's the so-called white man. That's their way of how they deal with people.
Right.
They did the same thing to the so-called Native American, the tribe of Gad. They did the same thing to the so-called Seminoles. That's them. That's their heritage.
So you see that our people are to constantly fall for the same tactics over and over again. All right, it ain't just the tribe of Benjamin. All right, it happened, like you said, to the Native Americans. All right, it happened to the so-called the Haitians, which is the tribe of Levi. All right, and so we got to understand, this white man, he doesn't have your best interests at heart.
At all.
All right, and he want to keep you in your sin or oppression. All right, but it is high time to wake up out of sleep. Give me that real quick in Romans 13. All right, the tribe of Benjamin, you have to wake up. All right, you have to wake up out of your sleep and actually come back to the laws of God. All right, because when you look on the island on the Jamaica and the surrounding islands, it's so many churches there. Why you think you got so many churches on your island? So they could keep you oppressed.
Right.
All right, to read that.
Indoctrinated.
Yes.
The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 11.
Read.
And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Knowing the time. All right. On all the reading that you do of the Bible, it is time to get understanding. All right, with your understanding get wisdom.
That's not what they say. They say I overstand.
God.
I overstand what you're saying.
Right.
Jah Rastafari.
Oh, dang. So we gonna get into that in our next show. Jah and on the Rastafarians, we are destroyed as a people.
Hey, yeah, the same thing with the Levi. They full of the voodoo.
Right,
we'll get into that too.
Hey, I didn't say that. You did.
It's true. You can't avoid the scripture. I'm gonna touch up a little bit on that as we go into my segment.
All right, but it is high time to wake up out of these the Christianity doctrines. It ain't for you or your people. That's a slave on the doctrine that we have to come out of.
Right.
All right, and that comes from Willie Lynch. All right, it started with Willie Lynch. He was down there. All right, I don't know if y'all got the book. Get the book. All right, the Willie Lynch on the letter, and it shows you exactly what they did to our people. All right, and then they brought it up here to Judah. Judah, you've been Willie Lynched as well. All right, I'm going to go back to Deuteronomy 33. Let's get that real quick. Start at verse 12. Let me get it to. And I'll read this slow, by the way. I want my big brothers out there, all the 11 tribes that's above us. I want y'all to hear this.
Lord.
Pray
for Benji.
Nah, bro.
They need it.
The scriptures say what it say. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 12.
Can I get a reader to read with more power?
Deuteronomy.
Please, is that Judah back there? Hey, Judah, can you read with more power on this scripture? All right, then go ahead.
Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 12.
All praises. Go ahead.
And of Benjamin, he said.
Of who?
And of Benjamin, he said. The beloved of the Lord.
The what?
The beloved of the Lord.
The beloved of the Lord. The beloved of the Lord. On Benjamin. You are beloved. You are somebody. Huh? Third son?
Go ahead, man.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Read on.
Enjoy
I
yourself.
just wanted to see if you had something
Enjoy
to say
yourself.
or no.
Oh, I do. I'm on wait.
Okay, go ahead on the Judah. I'll continue to read.
The beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him.
So, all right, and shall dwell in safety by him. All right, who is this talking about? All right, the tribe of Judah. All right, and Benjamin would always be connected with the tribe of Judah. All right, on the Judah and on the First Kings, hold that. Give me First Kings real quick. And chapter 12 and 20. Give me that real quick. All right, and Benjamin went with Judah when they had the split in Israel. All right, on the Judah and Benjamin went together at first. And then Levi came along later.
Why did Levi come later?
I just figured y'all got kicked out of the northern kingdom.
But where were Levi to begin with?
Yeah, I was everywhere.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we didn't have, it's not like we had a land and we decided to stay with one side. We were among the other tribes. That's where we were living.
All right.
So okay, you understand that, right?
So on the Levi was vagabonds. On the read that scriptures, go ahead.
Okay, we'll read the scripture on that too.
Just playing. Just playing,
ahead,
Levi.
man.
I
Go
love
ahead.
you. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 12 and verse 20. And it came to pass, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, that they sent and called him unto the congregation,
Read.
and made him king over all Israel. There was none that followed the house of David,
Read.
but the tribe of Judah only.
So the house of David all right, it goes into the tribe of Judah. Read.
And
I want
when
to read that part again. All right, about the house of David.
there was none that followed the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only. And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Judah.
Read.
With the tribe of Benjamin.
On with the tribe of who?
With the tribe of Benjamin. And 180,000 chosen men.
Y'all see that? So on the Rehoboam had assembled on the Judah and Benjamin together. All right, so Benjamin went with the tribe of Judah. All right, during that split. But Levi was still with the northern kingdom. So I'm sure you'll touch on that a little bit later. But on the go back to Deuteronomy 33.
Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 12. And of Benjamin he said.
Hold on. Can you read this loud again, bro? All right, I need you to keep the same enthusiasm as before. Read it.
And of Benjamin he said, the beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him.
All right, and so that's going, all right, into dwelling with the tribe of Judah. Read.
And the Lord shall cover him all the day long.
Shall cover him, and what? Read.
And he shall dwell between his shoulders.
All right, in safety, going into the tribe of Benjamin would dwell in safety with the tribe of Judah. All right, on Judah and Benjamin would go together all the way. I want to bring him back this truth on the, all right, and Benjamin would always be with Judah on bringing out the word of God. All right, as you see, all right, around the nation, all right, on Benjamin and Judah and Levi, of course, because they came along. I'm not trying to leave you out.
You got to keep it as the scriptures say.
They came along.
Okay.
I said y'all came along.
Go ahead.
And we made up the southern kingdom of Judah.
Right.
All right, and so all of us fall under, all right, the kingdom of Judah. So we are the Jews of the Bible.
That's right.
All right. So with that, go to Psalms on the one. No. Yeah, so go to Psalms 137 real quick. Let me get that, and then I'm going to turn it over to you, officer, and then we're going to get into the tribes or the tribe of Levi, all right, and one of the mighty tribes of Israel. Let me get that real quick.
What verse, officer?
On 137, start at 1, I believe. Hold on.
Psalms chapter 137 and verse 1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion.
All right, so this is one of the Psalms of David. All right, if you know anything about the tribe of Benjamin, the Benjamin always ravened, all right, about Babylon. All right, on singing songs, on going into their reggae, all right, about the, all right, oppression of on the Babylon. On the read.
We hanged our hearts upon the willows in the midst thereof.
All right, so the willows is going into our sorrows. All right, on the Benjamin, always on the raven or howled.
Yeah, they always singing of Babylon will fall. So they know who Babylon is too. That's another thing that to show you that the Spirit of the Lord is dealing with them up to a certain level. You know, because obviously a lot of us don't even know who the enemy is, you know. So even though they still kind of like brainwashed because they don't know who they are, but they know Babylon, who Babylon is, because they sing about it.
Exactly. Exactly, officer. And all right, going into that brainwashing later, all right, in later episodes, man, we're going to get into the, all right, on bleaching of the skin.
Right.
All right, so all the atrocities on the Benjamin do to one another, all right, the crime against one another. All right, and we got to get out of this wickedness. All right, and go back to Psalms 137 and pick up at verse on the 3.
Psalms chapter 137, verse 3. For there, they that carried us away captive required of us a song.
All right, Benjamin was forced to sing these songs as well. but through their craftiness, all right, and through their reggae, so they were singing about the destruction of Babylon. So they flipped it on the oppressor, so they would bring out these songs singing about that destruction. Read.
And they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of those songs of Zion.
Read.
How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem,
read.
Let my right hand forget her cunning.
Read.
If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. If I prefer not Jerusalem above my chief joy. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom.
All right, so this is going into the different reggae artists. All right, so that brought out. So these on the different songs on the Dennis Brown. All right, the Peter Tosh.
Right.
All right, I know y'all want me to say on the Bob, on the Marley, but he was an Edomite.
You could. Guess what? Guess what? A lot of people don't know. Peter Tosh is the one that teach Bob Marley.
Wow. Okay.
Did you know that most of the lyrics that Bob Marley have all from Peter Tosh, and also Peter Tosh is the one that teach Bob Marley how to play guitar.
Right.
So,
all praises.
That's still props coming from Benji and not the Edomite.
All right, all
sorry
praises.
For those of you that are Bob Marley fans. I'm sorry.
Hey, all praises. All right, on some of the different songs on it that you can go back and look up. All right, there's on the Fire on Rome. All right, on slavery. All right, the white man can't run us. All right, to run by the rivers of Babylon. All right, there's on the multitudes of songs from the Benjamin. So that speak of their oppression.
There's a few more. I wish you were going to go into that. I have so many different titles I can tell you.
So we will bring that out in future episodes.
You have another song. They go by the title of We Want to Go Home. Jerusalem.
So that's one of them Judite songs on the Swing Low Sweet Chariot.
Kind of like the same thing, yes.
On the Come to Carry Us Home.
A home, yes.
Yeah,
But the one I'm talking about is Benji.
Okay.
He mentioned the 12 tribes want to go home.
Even
though they still confused somewhat, they still affiliate themselves with Israel in their song. That's heavy though.
All praises, all praises. All right, I'm gonna turn it over to you, Officer A. I want to bring out the history on Levi. All right, on who was the priest of Israel. All right, on who was on given the charge. All right, of sacrifices. All right, I'm bringing our people to the Lord, on forgiving our sins. Yeah, I'm through the sacrifices. I know you got a lot to go over. Yeah, go ahead, bro. And I'll chime in when I can.
All praises, all praises. With the tribe of Levi, they screwed up. They screwed up big time, and till today we still paying for the sin.
Wait a minute. Hold on, man. This might be a first in Israel on where Levi is actually coming forward and saying that y'all didn't do right.
Yeah, that's correct.
By the Lord.
Well, that's the truth. That's what the scriptures say.
All right, I'm going to just be over here. Go ahead.
I'm going to start with the scripture where he started, Genesis 49, verse 5. All right. As he stated, it says, it says, Israel gathered his 12 sons to tell them what will happen to them in the latter day.
Right.
So he's giving a hint of where we'll be in the latter day. Give me that. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 5.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
So it says Simeon and Levi are brethren. Obviously, he mentioned all the 12 tribes to come together, all the brothers to come together, and yet he mentioned Simeon and Levi are brethren, saying that they will be together. It's going to tell you more. Go ahead, read on.
O my soul, come not thou into their secret.
It says, don't come into their secrets. What are their secrets? The voodoo, the brujeria, Santa Maria. Those are the things that they do that are wicked. Don't come in their secrets. Read.
Unto their assembly, mine honor. Be not thou united.
You see that? God says they will not be united. That's of the Lord. Even though they're on the same island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and so I was about to say, aren't they on the same island?
They're on the same island. That's why you see they can't stand each other.
But it's a lot of hatred between
There's
the
a
two
lot of
tribes.
hatred going on between the two.
Okay.
That's because of that. That's God says He doesn't want them to come together, because if
Right.
they come together, it would be a lot of chaos, because they crazy.
Okay, yes.
Them together would be a bad combination for Israel.
Yeah.
God says, I will not let them come together. They will not be united. Read on.
For in their anger they slew a man.
You see that? In their anger, they slew a man. That means they have short fuse. They jump from 0 to 10 in a minute. Meaning, you could be talking to one of them right now, and then the next minute they chop your head off. That's how crazy they are.
Damn.
You know, the scripture tell you, in their anger they slew. Why are you looking at me like that, man?
Because hold on, real quick, officer.
Yeah.
All right, this is a story floating around Israel.
Hey, go
All right,
ahead,
I
man.
need a clarification
Oh,
on this
Lord.
story.
What is it now? What is it?
All right, it's dealing with the tribe of Levi.
Yes.
All right, and when I first came into the truth, I heard this story. All right, I still believe it's from you on it, but you say it's not. I want clarification.
Okay. Hey, it's on recording too. So
Yeah, it is on recording.
So all
So-
Israel gonna see it.
Yeah, all Israel see it.
And Bishop
All right.
gonna see it too. So
All right, if it
they
ain't
were
you
there.
on it, somebody
Okay.
heard this story as
I'm
well.
sure they probably have.
All right, so I heard, all right, Levi has an uncle who they turned into like a wheelbarrow. Is that like, I know I heard that like 8, 9, 10 years ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
How
Stop
long
it.
ago was it?
Stop it. It wasn't that long ago.
So it's true.
No, yes, it did happen.
Oh!
Hold on. It did happen, but I was not the one that said
It
it.
did
okay?
happen?
It did happen.
So this brother turned into a wheelbarrow.
I forgot which brother that said that. I forgot.
Hold on. So somebody
But-
turned into a wheelbarrow.
That was the statement. That was one of those trips that we did to Haiti.
Can I slide over a little
It was
bit?
a confession time. You all right?
I don't want to be turned into nothing
That means you believe in
except
that
for a
thing.
child of God.
Okay.
Speak very, very well. And that's the wisdom. Hey, that's the wisdom of this world. Born and grow like that. Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Mattathias. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
All right, wait, officer. So we can't just run past this right here. All right, is this story true or not?
Well, I kind of heard the story, you know. I'm not sure, you know, if it's you know, I'll plead the fifth on that.
All praise to the Most High.
All
Hey,
right, let's
Levi, don't be
continue,
turning
man.
people into wheelbarrows.
Let's
out there.
continue. Read on.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 6. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly, mine honor. Be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall.
And that also showing you that they are self-will. They are quick to get angry, and they are self-will. Read on.
Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob, and scatter them in Israel.
You see that? That's a curse. It says he will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. When you look today, you find the Levites, the so-called Haitian, everywhere. They in South America, among all the tribes in South America, start from Chile, Argentina, Colombia, Brazil, Panama, Uruguay, Mexico, Cuba, anywhere you could think of,
Yeah.
America, within all, they are divided among Israel, just to show you what the scripture is real. It's true, and although those things happen, we have to see why.
Right.
Why did Levi turn to be in the bottom? Let me get Malachi chapter 2, verse 1. But they do have their good part as well. We'll touch up on some of the good attributes of Levi.
Absolutely.
The book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 1. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you.
You see that? God says, because you don't want to give glory unto my name, I will send a curse unto you. Read on.
And I will curse your blessings. Yea, I will curse them already, because ye do not lay it to heart.
You see that? It says, I will curse them already, because you did not take my words into heart. You did not take God's laws into heart. Read on.
Verse 3. Behold, I will corrupt your seed, and spread dung up on your faces.
You see that? That's actually some of the things that Levi does. When they dealing with their voodoo, they took mud and dirt and put it all over their face.
Oh, wow.
That's scriptural. You're reading it in the Bible. Read on.
Even the dung of your solemn feasts, and one shall take you away with it. And ye shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, saith the Lord of hosts.
Supposedly, the covenant of the Most High God was supposed to be with Levi. An agreement that God had with the Levites. Okay? Be the mediator, the one that they connect with, they talk to. Okay? Jump down to verse 8. Actually, verse 7.
Verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth.
It says that their mouth should keep knowledge. They should be the one teaching the 12 tribes, the 11 tribes, God's word. Because God was dealing with them, giving them the message to pass on to the other tribes. Read.
For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts.
Because they were the messenger. Read on.
But ye are departed out of the way.
So what they did instead, they departed out of the way. What way? The agreement that they had with the Most High God. The laws and statutes that was giving unto them, they departed from that. Read on.
Ye have caused many to stumble at the law.
You see that? They caused many to stumble at the law. How did they do that? By not keeping the law. If you're not keeping them, how could you teach others to do so? If you're the one that going into other strange women, how could the other tribes stay away from strange women? If you're going after strange idols, not the God that God created, not the God of Israel, how could the other tribe not following and do the same thing? So that's a judgment for you because you went against God's word. Read.
Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi, saith the Lord of hosts.
You corrupted the covenant that you had with the Most High God. Read.
Therefore have I also made you contemptible.
The word therefore means because you did this, because you go against me, because you didn't follow my laws and statutes and commandment, I will make you what?
Contemptible.
The word contemptible means hated. I will cause you to be hated. Read.
And base before all the people.
And base. Base, to be base, is being in the bottom of all the tribes. And when you look today, that's Israel. That's the tribe of Levi. We are in the bottom of all the other tribes. We are the worst one. Why? Because we hardened our heart. We didn't keep the covenant, the agreement that we had with the Most High God. All right. Now, having said this.
So real quick, officer, that was heavy that you just brought out. All right, Levi had a standard, all right, and a responsibility.
Right.
All right, and first and foremost, all right, and so the Most High had put them at the bottom of the 12. But when you look at the 12 we all are at the bottom of this society.
Right.
All right, because all of us had made a covenant. All right, all of us had made an agreement with the Lord. All right, now go to Exodus on the 24th real quick, and then I'm going to give it back to you. I'm going to start at verse 8.
The book of Exodus, chapter 24 and verse 8. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, Behold the blood of the covenant, which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words.
All these words, read.
Then went up Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel.
All right, and so I wanted verse 8. So, all right, Moses had took the blood and sprinkled it on the people. All right, the people is all the 12 tribes. All of us had a covenant with God. All right, the Levites, all right, was put in charge, of course, and they failed on it, but we all failed. All of us failed, all right, and with that covenant of the Most High. Go ahead, officer.
All praises. Hey, especially you so-called Haitian out there, it's to show you that this is not the time for you to be prideful. This is the time that you need to step up and do the work. Now, moving from there, now let me show you a few things that Levi did, how we be able to identify them in the scripture. Let me get the one that said the black Indians. It was page 33. The black Indians and hidden heritage. Black Indians, a hidden heritage.
This is from the book called The Black Indians, A Hidden Heritage. In 1522, Europeans in the Americas first learned that slavery did not easily lead to enormous wealth. On Christmas Day, African and Indian slaves on a plantation owned by Diego Columbus rose and murdered their masters and overseers. Nearby Native Americans joined the rebels. The beautiful island of Hispaniola shook with the first recorded slave rebellion in the New World.
That say two things here. Number one, it's telling you what they did to the Edomites, the Europeans. Let's continue reading. Let's finish reading before I make comments.
The conspiracy had spread across the sprawling sugar plantations in the weeks before Christmas. Patiently, the plotters waited until Christmas Day, when the planters and their families would be bloated with food, soaked with liquor, and too weak or sleepy to offer much resistance. Then they struck, plunging into the night, to kill whites and find freedom.
You see that? All right. Now, what does that tell you about here? It's telling you, first of all, that the Native American, the so-called Native American, the tribe of Gad, also went in the island and helped.
Right.
So the Levi didn't do this by themselves, and the Simeon. Gad was also among them. Now, the other thing that he mentioned, he says they waited till they were bloated, full of food, because they know Christmas, they celebrate Christmas.
Right.
That show you we didn't used to celebrate that junk.
Yeah.
The white people used to celebrate it.
Exactly.
Okay? They wait till they are bloated. They're like, okay, now they're going to be weak. They're not going to be strong to fight because they drunk and they full. Let's attack. Where in the scripture did we read about that?
That's all history right there.
There you go.
Let's catch them at their weak point.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's go to Genesis chapter 34. They did the same thing when that damn Hamites wanted to violate our sister, raped her, and then thinking that you could just go ahead and rape our sisters and walk away with it. Nah, man, that's not how it goes.
Hell nah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's read about the history to show you the connection, how Levi rolled. That's why Jacob says, come now down into their secret. In their secret, they'll kill a man because they have short temper. Go ahead.
What verse, officer?
34, verse 22.
The book of Genesis, chapter 34 and verse 22. Only herein will the men consent unto us for to dwell with us, to be one people. If every male among us be circumcised, as they are circumcised, shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? So
just for you audience can understand what's going on, after he violated our sister, raped her, now he asking to marry her. So the agreement, I don't want to go too much into the detail. What he said, what Simeon and Levi said, the only way we'll allow you to marry her, you're going to have to circumcise in your whole household because that's our custom. Okay, read on.
Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. And unto Hamor, and unto Shechem, his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of his city. And every male was circumcised, all that went out of the gate of his city. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren took each man his sword and came upon the city boldly and slew all the males.
Did you hear that? That's the same thing.
Yeah.
They know they will be sore, they can't fight, and they come and kill all of them.
Damn.
Who did it? Simeon and Levi. Showing you the type of spirit you're dealing with. God see the spirit of all of his creation.
So this right here, all right, also showed, all right, an officer that on the Simeon and Levi was joined in unity on one accord.
Right.
All right, but through the deception of the devil or the white man, today, man, they're separated now.
And believe it or not, that does play a part of Esau. They play a role of the division that took place 1915.
Yeah.
They set up the puppet ruler in position, cause all this chaos. But yes, you are right. Nevertheless, God knew they probably would have done a lot of damage if those two were still together as like, brothers.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy, If they can just join and start, imagine, you would have had bloody city everywhere. Yeah, after this, I got a few more things I want to show, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Now, we talked about their characters. Now, many probably don't know about Bookman. Bookman.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Well, you probably do
Wait
know.
a minute.
Many don't know.
Hold on. Bookman is not a Levite.
At least you could let me make my introduction.
Nah, you just ain't finna take on one of our greats and take him for yourself. That's all I'm saying. Gosh. You got to be honest with the people.
Somebody help Officer David.
Can you introduce this tribe first at least?
No, you don't tell me how to do it.
Bookman.
No, you don't let me. I'll do it the way I want to do it.
Well, then go ahead.
All right. Okay, I'll say from the mighty tribe of Benjamin. All right. Okay. But he was a smart man that knew who he was. How do we know? Let me show you, because the perception they put out there is that he was a voodoo priest and he did a voodoo ceremony of Bwakaima, showing that how he caused the slave to have courage to fight. Let me show you what he did. Let me get that thing I sent you about Dutty Bookman. I'm going to show you the prayer of Bookman. This is a prayer that he made. And then I'm going to show you how Israel used to, before they go to war, how they used to pray too. Go ahead. Read that for me.
His famous prayer reads, "The God who created the earth, who created the sun that gives us light, the God who holds up the ocean, who makes the thunder roar, our God who has ears to hear, you who are hidden in the clouds, who watch us from where you are. You see all that the whites have made us suffer. The white man's God asked him to commit crimes, but the God within us wants to do good.
You see that? Read.
Our God who is so good, so just, he orders us to revenge our wrongs."
That's not the God of Caesar Borgia.
Right.
Because Caesar Borgia tell you, oh, can we just all love? Can we all get along? Huggy dope. Nah, man, this is not the God of Israel.
Right.
The God of Israel will make you know who your enemy is and get your revenge swiftly. All right, read.
It's he who will direct our arms and bring us the victory. It's he who will assist us. We all should throw away the image of the white man's God, who is so pitiless.
You see that? He says we should get rid of those idols that we have among us. Get rid of those idols and know who your God is, the God of Israel.
Right.
The true God. He understood that. But guess what? The so-called white men give us our history, say, hey, Bookman was a voodoo priest.
Right, yep.
Where do you think the so-called Haitian get their history from? Straight out from France.
Right.
That's where they get their curriculum from. So you think your enemy going to give you your history? You better think again. Well, we're reading it for you right there. That's your history.
This showed too, officer, that our people back in on the slavery when we was rebelling, All right, we understood on it. We don't have a God that looks on like us.
Right.
All right, how can you come in and give us a white God who, all right, has blonde hair and blue eyes, and you want us to believe after him?
Right.
But in 2022, all our people think that Christianity on the Caesar Borgia, okay, that's God. That is not the God of the Bible. All right, and that was given to you in slavery. Go ahead.
You know what's sad? Now, they don't need to fight anymore.
Our
people fight for them. Our people is the one that stand say, hey, y'all liars. You guys are cults. You guys are extremists.
So that go into the Willie Lynch letter.
Right.
And we will be bringing that out. But they understood, all right, man, we got to get these people on the brainwashed, so we can sleep good at night.
Right, yes.
So they sleeping good in 2022.
That is correct.
Y'all better wake the hell up so they can lose some sleep.
They wouldn't be able to sleep around that time.
Right.
They sleep with one eye, and guess what? Out of that, you know what else come out? You have your Denmark Vesey. You have your Gabriel Prosser. You have your Nat Turner. They come out. That's the same regime. After what happened in 1791,
right?
You see all these other ones come out.
Harriet Tubmans and all these other ones on the rise.
They understand. They understand.
Oh,
so I'm gonna show you a little short clip of how Jean-Jacques Dessalines. No. Let me show you Toussaint Louverture first. Toussaint Louverture was someone that was comparable to what you would say in the Bible. Simon.
Okay.
Simon was the wise one in the scripture.
The Maccabees.
Yes, in the Maccabees.
Okay.
Just so brothers that are listening kind of know what
Levi.
Okay. Let's get it real quick. First Maccabee chapter
265.
65. Okay, there he is.
Yeah, read that for me.
Yeah.
Maccabees. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 65. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always.
You see that? He's a man of counsel. That means he is wise. Why am I making this connection with him? Toussaint learned the way of all those three main people that was in power around that time. The British, he fought with the British. So he learned the tactic, how they fight.
Right.
He fought with the Spaniard, being in their side, fight with them.
Right.
So he learned how the Spaniard fought. He also fought with the French. So he know how all those three people really, their tactic, how they fight.
Right.
And then he used that same thing against them and go against them at war. So when they see they couldn't when they see they couldn't win the war against them, they tricked them. They say, hey, let us talk, have a meeting. So to see if we can come to a peace. Goes back to that covenant.
Treaties.
That treaty. And he fought for it. Yep. And they kidnapped his ass.
Damn, our people still falling for treaties.
Yes. That's exactly what happened to him.
Right.
But let's read what he says after they got him. The one that say, I think there is a translation. You have one in French and one in Creole. I posted. Yeah, read that for me.
This is Tumblr.com. Toussaint Louverture's last words before being taken to prison in France. In overthrowing me, you have done no more than cut down the trunk of the tree of the Black Liberty in Saint-Domingue. It will spring back from the roots, for they are numerous and deep.
So what he says here, that was deep. That's pretty profound if you understand. He said, all you did, you just cut up the trunk of the tree. Right. But guess what? The tree gonna spring up again.
Grow back. Yeah.
And you can't mess with that because it's so deep and profound. You cannot get to us all. You take one out, another one will rise up. Guess what? Guess what happened? Jean-Jacques Dessalines come right up.
Dang.
Right after that. All right, let's see what did they say about Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Last one. And then I'm gonna show you the scripture of the characteristic of Jean-Jacques Dessalines with Judas Maccabeus. Mm-hmm. Same type of brother. Go ahead. Yeah, play that for me.
Yes, he killed 20,000 and in between 50,000. He had in between 20,000 and 50,000 people massacred. But you have to also factor in that this man led the only slave rebellion in history that led to a country being formed for the sake of his people. And that's why I wanted to talk about Jean-Jacques Dessalines for a little bit, because in this Black History Month series that I'm doing right now, because I'm so sick of these slave stories with these slaves who just marched and begged and pleaded with the white man to get their freedom. Like, no, we need to talk about those people who were willing to fight and do whatever they had to do, freedom at any cost. And here we come to Emperor Jean-Jacques Dessalines, a famous leader in the Haitian Revolution. He waged war against the French. Actually, he waged war against the French with the slaves that were rebelling. Then when the French kind of got to a point where they were saying, okay, we can try to make peace, he fought for them against the Spanish and then flipped back again. From 1791 up until about 1803, there was a lot of back and forth. But 1804, it was at the point where 1803 came when the French tried to reinstitute slavery in Haiti, and he gave them the ass-kicking of a lifetime. Emperor Jean-Jacques Dessalines is very controversial because
you see, he was very controversial. I'm gonna make a something that he did. You can stop right there. Something that he did that was very slick. First, his theme was cut head, burn house. He didn't care if they were little children. He didn't care if they were women. He says they're all the same. So, as opposed to Toussaint that wanted to negotiate, he said, hell no, we ain't about that. So another trick that he did, he said, okay, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop killing whites. You guys can come out and go to your country. As they start coming out again, he started killing all of them again.
He killed them.
This brother right there had the spirit of Judas Maccabeus. Cold-blooded.
Yeah.
He didn't have nothing to play with. Why are we showing you this? We're showing you the spirit of our forefathers. We weren't the scary brothers that were afraid to stand up against our enemies. We knew who our enemies were. And that's the problem we have today. Because now we don't understand who our enemy is.
Right.
Because we don't know who our enemy is, everybody's our friends. Dang. And now you're getting stabbed. You don't even know who stabbed you.
Right.
You have the enemy foot is on your neck. You don't even know. All right. Let's go back to that Maccabee. Read the next verse.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 66. As for Judas Maccabeus, he has been mighty and strong, even from his youth up. Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people.
You see that? That's the same spirit as Jean-Jacques Dessalines. He had the same spirit.
He was a warrior.
Yes. Yeah. He killed his own cousin in the battlefield.
Yeah.
The brother was weak. He says, no, you can't go to war with a brother like that. He will cost your life. You take him out. Because that is a weakness among, he believed that was a weakness among the army. He didn't want no weakness around him. Those spirit, I'm not saying that's what we got to do now, but spiritually, you need to be in the same level. You can't be weak among brothers that go to war because you cause somebody else to die.
That's right.
You know? That's what I had for the tribe of Levi.
All right, all praises on Israel. All right, as y'all see, man, we brought out on some of the key characteristics, all right, of the tribe of Benjamin and of the tribe of Levi. All right, and really quick, I want to touch on Deuteronomy, all right, because this is on one of the key on the chapters on how you know that you are the children of Israel.
Yeah, I know. When you finish, I forgot I didn't bring that Deuteronomy about Levi.
Oh, yeah. So we about to touch on Deuteronomy real quick. Go ahead, touch on it if you want to.
Let me get Deuteronomy 33 and 8. I didn't touch up on that. That goes into the blessing of Levi.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and verse 8. And Levi, he said, let thy Thummim and thy Urim be with my Holy One, be with thy Holy One, whom thou didst prove at Massah.
That Thummim and Urim is those stones that they were using to get connection with the Most High God. What does that show you? That they had a direct connection with God. All right, they were the mediator between God and man. Read.
And with whom thou didst strive at the waters of Meribah, who said unto his father and to his mother, I have not seen him. neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children.
So what's that showing you? When he comes at that time, when it comes to keeping God's laws, Levi didn't care if you were mom, dad, brother, sister. If you weren't on the Lord's side, he'll kill you. He'll put you to death. And that's the reason why God had choose Levi unto himself. Perfect example of that again also was Phinehas. When that brother came in the tent with that Moabite woman, he came in and slew both of them together. Show you that they don't play around when it comes to keeping of the law.
Damn.
Read.
For they have observed thy word and kept thy covenant.
You see that? They observed exactly what God's want. They stopped the plague that was going on in the camp. Read.
They shall teach Jacob thy judgments and Israel thy law.
You see that? They shall judge Jacob and teach Israel God's laws. Read.
They shall put incense before thee and hold burnt sacrifice upon the altar.
And we all know what Aaron did one time when the plague was going, killing over 14,000.
Yeah. Right.
Aaron had to be the one to outrun the plague with the census to get rid of the plague.
Right.
To show you the importance of the Levite at that time. Read.
Verse 11. Bless, Lord, his substance, and accept the work of his hands. Smite through the loins of them that rise against him, and of them that hate him, that they rise not again.
You see that? That was a blessing for Levi. He says, curse be anyone that rise against him. Just to show you, because Levi was God's heritage.
Right.
All right. That's all I wanted. Go ahead.
All right, really quick, we finna touch on Deuteronomy 28. All right, and so this is one of the key chapters, all right, in the Bible that identify the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, and so this is on how you can identify yourselves in the latter days. Give me Deuteronomy 28, and let's start at on the 1 and then jump.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So real quick, on to go to Deuteronomy 1 and 1 to see on who Moses is speaking to, all right, in the book of Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness.
All right, and so Moses is speaking to the 12 tribes of Israel, all right, in the whole book of Deuteronomy. Go back to Deuteronomy 28.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I have commanded thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Wow, and the God said, if you listen to my commandments, all right, I'm going to set you on high, all right, above everybody else on the planet earth. All right, and what will come from that on read verse 2?
Verse 2, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
All right, all these blessings will come on you. All right, the 12 tribes of Israel, all right, including Benjamin and Levi, all right, if you want to hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Now, it's always a flip side. All right, if you don't want to listen, on the jump to verse on the 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
But it shall happen, what?
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
All right, if you don't want to listen to God.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. That all these curses.
All these what?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So the flip side on the was, all right, on you 12 tribes, all right, if you don't want to listen to God, he will curse you as a people.
Right.
All right, the other side on it was blessing. So guess which one we chose? On read verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So God said that you would be cursed in the city. Any city that you go to, on Montego Bay, all right, in Kingston, all right, you will find hoods and slums and bad parts. So what's the capital of Haiti?
Port-au-Prince.
Port-au-Prince. all these on the different cities, all right, around the Caribbean.
The whole of Haiti actually is cursed.
Well, so it's
And
some
they
good parts.
They
On the Labadee was nice.
Labadee is owned by Esau.
Oh, so they have a good part and a bad part of
that's
Haiti.
true. That's true.
All right, any city that you go to, all right, and it's a bad part, you will find the 12, all right, the tribes of Israel. Read.
Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Hold on, I skipped the part. It said on the curse, on the shall that be in the field. All right, the sugarcane fields of Jamaica and Haiti. All right, the rice fields, all right, on picking beans and cottons, all these fields. All right, and we think the so-called black man was the only one cursed here and on North America, but we was cursed as well in all these fields in the Caribbean. All right, and jump down to 32.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So this happened in slavery, and it's still happening on it today. All right, all right, and so the so-called Haitians, when the earthquake happened in Haiti, all right, and so all right, cut that part. I'm gonna take it again. All right, on the so the so-called earthquake, not the so-called. All right. All right, the so-called on the Haitians, when the earthquake happened in Haiti, all right, and so the white man came in, the Chinese man came in,
Right.
and so they was taking the children for themselves.
Yep. They pretend like they're gonna help out.
Right.
And those parents, they're not in condition to take care of their children.
Right.
And some of them didn't even have children.
Yeah.
They didn't have parents because they were orphanage because their parents died. And they'll go pretend like they with ministry, church ministry.
Yep,
They probably
yep,
was. And taking those kids for either sex trafficking or organs purposes.
And you know how the white man is, man. They'll give you like a smooth song, all right, and smooth words. All right, our people believe it,
Right.
and the kids is gone. All right, read on.
Some of them got caught doing that.
Yeah.
There were a few of them got caught trying to take kids away and got in trouble, but they didn't really get in trouble. They were able to walk free.
Right.
The Esau.
All right, read on.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fell with longing for them all the day long.
Read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
All right, and think back into the slavery days. All right, and so your children were taken from you, and you had no power to do anything about it. All right, and so they were just taken and sent away, and you cried all the day long. All right, to jump down real quick, jump down to 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
Okay, what's the day? The curses God placed on the children of Israel, because we didn't want to do his commandments. So he put these curses on us as a sign, all right, to identify who his people are. Read.
And for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Read.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
All right, because you didn't want to do what God said with joyfulness and gladness of heart. Read.
For the abundance of all things.
All things. Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
You shall serve your enemies. All right, think about the island of Jamaica. All right, you are controlled by the British. Okay, think about the island of Haiti. You are controlled by the French. And to this day, you have to serve your enemy. Same people, the white
Just
man.
different language.
Right. Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
And on the food. All right, if you want food, all right, real quick, to speak about the rice.
Yeah. A perfect example of that I'm from the area that they make rice. What they did with the rice, they bring American rice down there, and they drop the price super low.
Wow.
Like, let's say, I'm giving you an example. Let's say a bag of rice in Haiti costs $5. They drop theirs to like $1.50.
Damn.
Where like you go like, okay, it's a no-brainer.
Have to buy.
It's a no-brainer.
Right.
Why? I'm already poor. Why go buy one that costs $5 when I can get one for $1.50?
Right.
So they stopped buying the farmer rice and buying the those that were transported in the land.
Right.
So
Damn.
what that does, the farmers now couldn't sell. They lose.
So they cut off.
And then
now.
because they lose, they couldn't continue cultivate and make more rice because they'll sell what they have and then go prepare for next year. So what they did, by them doing that, they shut down the whole market.
Wow.
And then now all we have that coming in is their rice. We cannot do anything for ourselves. And they did the same thing with the chicken. They did the same thing with, even though we don't support pigs, but we used to. That's one thing that Levi used to have as what you call bank.
Right.
The bank were considered their pig. They bring their own pigs and then bring a disease that kill all the pigs that was of the land. The same thing with the chicken, kill all the chicken. It's crazy.
So you see these curses on the fit our people,
right?
On the to a T. So in food, you're still on serving the enemy. Read on.
And in thirst.
Thirst on the water. All right. If you want drinks, all right, on the soda beverages, on alcohol or whatever, you have to go to the enemy. Read.
And in nakedness.
And in clothes. All right. And so your clothes is being imported. All right, we don't only create our own clothes on these islands. All right, and so they come in from the different nations, on the China, on the Taiwan, all overseas America. All right, and so they're bringing you your clothes. You are serving your enemy, Reed.
They'll even have you do it. They'll even have you make those things and then bring it back and sell it to you.
And then turn around and sell it to you. Damn, so that's slave labor going on today, Reed. Damn.
And in want of all things.
All things that you want. All things that you want. Jump down to 68, and this is the last verse, and then we're going to close out the show. All right, I pray y'all to glean something from the show.
Right.
And that you continue to tune in to the Caribbean Connection. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So God said to the Israelites, coming out of Egypt, out of slavery, all right, if you don't want to listen, I'm going to bring you back into slavery again. How?
With ships.
How?
With ships.
Hold on, man. We walked out of Egypt, walked across the sea, and walked up out of Egypt. Yeah, but he said the second time it's going to be with ships. What is this going into? The transatlantic slave trade.
Right.
All right, we was dropped off in the Caribbean islands and brought up here on to North America. All right, God wasn't playing with us. All right, we have to get serious about his laws and repent. Read it from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again.
All right, you haven't seen your homeland. All right, and so your homeland ain't Jamaica or the Western Indians or on the Haiti. All right, your homeland is what? On Jerusalem.
That's right.
Jerusalem is the homeland. All right, and God said once he drop you off, you ain't gonna see it again as a people. Okay, read.
And there ye shall be sold unto
be what?
Sold unto your enemies.
You was sold on the island of Jamaica. You was sold on the island of Haiti, on Hispaniola. You was sold as slaves, men and women. Read.
For bondmen and bondwomen. And no man shall buy you.
And all these great leaders rose up and tried to bring us out of our the situation captivities. So they wasn't successful. Only one person will be successful, which is
Jesus Christ,
the Messiah.
Hey, guess what? While I was in one of those areas on a flyer mission, and I remember I see this brother. I think he may have been Benji, and he says, "Oh, we are all Garveyites."
We talking about Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey.
Right.
And it says, you know that, right? Bruh, you know Marcus Garvey didn't save you, right? You know your condition. We were in the project, yo.
Right.
In the project.
Damn.
In the project. You know you still in the bottom, right? just to show you the mindset of our people, some of us believe in Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
See him as the greatest. Yes, he did. He did what he needed to do. Same thing with Malcolm X. He did what he needed to do. But guess what? None of these can save you, like Officer just pointed out. None of them can save you, but the true Christ, the black Messiah, he's the one that's going to deliver you out of your condition.
That's right. All right, family. Thank you for tuning in to this week's on Caribbean Connection. All right, I'm Officer David.
And I'm Officer Obadiah.
On
that,
Shalom
we say Shalom.
On Mosiah and Christ bless.
Mosiah and Christ bless.
Shalom.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.